Political Tumble, where a bunch of longtime friends and internet users transcend geography through the power of Discord and various other haphazard solutions involving phones instead of webcams, uh, to play Dungeons and Dragons and critically fumble a lot. It probably won't matter quite as much this session as it will in future sessions because you're not looking at ancient blue dragons yet. Um, Currently, the crew are in Belarus for their last evening in Belarus before heading towards first Egref for night of entertainment, day of shopping, and then into the mining consortium tunnels to make their way to kind of sneak up on an ancient blue dragon who needs to be dealt with so that she stops eating the mercenaries who are supposed to be resupplying and reinforcing the ones that are protecting Goldendale and point surrounding. Given that there's a very pissed off ancient green in the Elven Wild and a perennially angry ancient white sort of tromping around Gray's Inn at the moment, that kind of pincer situation is not a good one to not have resupply or reinforcements. So they're going as fast as a group of 8 uh, uh, common sense challenged individuals can conceivably get, but at least they have enough common sense to know that. I mean, combined. I'm taking it as an average. Stop giving me that offended look. Because remember, I'm including my own character in that. And come on, let's face it. My character has got more common sense than most of the rest of you put together.
I bring down the average.
Yeah. There are reasons that we had some discussions about your effective wisdom score. Yes. In any case, they finished a rather uh awkward tea at the Crestwinds. Had some dinner and what of the cakes Barnabus left for everybody else.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They decided on an early night because they get the train pretty much right after breakfast. So, there is a certain sense from Clarity that she probably wants some alone time around about now, and if she doesn't want to be trucking around alleys in the evenings, there is the roof where some of the more religious of them do dawn prayers.
Okay. I go to the roof.
It's quiet for a moment. It is a particularly lovely view, if a little bit nippy because of the time of year. But there's not as much light as you wouldn't even know from the lights in Egref, but you can just about see on the horizon the ocean and the stars. And from behind you, woman's voice. You truly do understand me. You turn around. It's impossible to tell exactly how old she is. I mean, the general body habitus, etc., is 20s, 30s-ish. The eyes are more or less eternal, and you can't quite tell what color they are. It's like she's got opals instead of the average eye. She's about a foot taller than you are, and her hair is as impossible to tell the color of as her eyes for much the same reasons. But it's more it's more the raven's wing. Depending on how the light hits it, it's green, it's purple, it's this off red kind of color, and She is probably the most impressive looking individual you have ever seen. Welcome to the Archfey.
Oh,
And she's smiling at you.
wow. Hi.
Greetings. I thought for something like this you might appreciate not going through an intermediary.
Thank you. I'm honored.
Well, you actually put some effort into the kind of thing I might actually like after the last one. That deserves a certain amount of courtesy. The last one was such a disappointment.
I will endeavor to do better.
Well, you certainly got into the spirit of things, but I get the impression that you don't have the same reasoning for the sort of pact that I offered via our herald, but yours is similar, isn't it?
Very similar. Yes. It's not on my behalf, but on
I
someone
we
I
keep
care
in
about.
mind keep in mind you explained that to our former champion. We do keep a certain amount of tabs. Understand that, obviously, if this pact is accepted on both sides, it might take a little bit longer than immediately, if only because we've taken something from them once before. They're probably going to be a little better hiding it now.
All right.
But it does
I
also mean that we know the approximate areas and things to look for, so that might balance it out. We're not entirely sure.
okay. That is acceptable to me.
I assume that you're not going to want him in whatever state he's going to be in when removed. If I recall correctly, immediately upon being removed is sort of off kilter, and as far as we could tell from our former champion, uh, I don't think that's the sibling you had in mind.
I mean, I'd accept him, however I can have him, but
But you want him
I
you want him to want to live, right?
yes, of course. And
That's the thing. Former champion didn't really.
oh, I wasn't around for that part.
Mm. No, but you see that I am what I am, and I am how I am, and I tend to talk around things in circles. So, no Archfey anywhere ever gave anyone a entirely straight answer. I am doing my best, but it's not that much fun unless somebody actually has to think about what I'm saying.
I understand as much as I'm able. Um, but yes, if you can reverse or heal him, however much is in your power, I would be very grateful.
Where would we be bringing him? I have a feeling that your road is going to be a little, traumatizing for a Thatcher's boy.
Yes, I'd like to see him, but I'd like for him to recover, perhaps with the Hearts. Um, I think they would be good for him.
I think that could be fun to watch. That's in my interests, yes. I do have to consider these things a little bit.
Yes, I think he and the children would get along famously.
Famous can be good or bad. They're making that mercenary captain that your friends caught and then he turned to dust. He's famous in a way.
I mean,
It's like that saying they get along like a house on fire. I've never entirely understood why that's a good thing. Running, screaming bucket brigades. And
I don't think I've ever heard that expression.
I think it's more of a Goldendale one. Ask. I want to say girlfriend, but I'm sure it's not quite appropriate yet.
It's complicated. Everybody's being so nosy.
I don't think everyone. I think you are entirely fortunate in that the darkness and light celestial brigade over there seem to have taken the lion's share of the attention.
That's true. I do get questions though, and I don't know how to answer them.
Amusingly.
I've gathered that.
No, I mean, if I recall correctly, and for one moment she's standing in front of herself, saying, "We seduced a lot of people to get us to this point." And in fact, why couldn't you just do more of that?
Well, it's different with Hazel.
Yes, but
and
it's but then you just need different words.
I get flustered.
You need practice. And who better to practice with the first people you've had since your sibling that you might actually come within 20 miles of trusting?
I guess. I mean,
If you do accept this pact, I do admit I have an assignment for you. You'll enjoy it, I promise. Eventually.
does it involve this amount of blushing? Because I'm not sure I'd survive that.
If you screw your courage to the sticking place, I'm sure you can control the blush. You are fire resistant.
Apparently not enough.
This will simply bolster that.
Okay.
So, I'm gathering from all of this charming conversation, as lovely as it is, although I'm now a little bit disappointed that I missed out on the cakes, that, what? I'm sorry. It was all manner of amusing just watching that whole bit of chaos. It was fantastic. Watching you blush your way through it was almost as amusing as the winged one basically telling the parentals where to stick it and flying away. That was an exit.
Yes, it certainly was. Very impressive.
In any case, charming conversation aside, does that mean that you will be accepting a pact with me?
Yes, if I can get my brother back and he's wonderfully whole again, as much as he is able, then yes.
Well, we can definitely do that, but I have to admit that I'm a little bit concerned that you're going into quite the situation, and I want to make sure that you come out of it. Part of it isn't just the task I perform for you. Part of it involves the sorts of powers that your brief friend, our former champion, had. I'll give you an evening to think about the sorts of things that you might be interested in pursuing in that vein. And depending on how my little request of you goes, we'll see how generous the ability package can be. I understand that you'll be accompanying your friends to a venue of sorts in this Egref town. I do love that town.
I heard there are mischief areas. Areas of mischief.
They're like little patches of Feywild. It's magnificent.
Oh.
But that's not that is something that you can perform on your own time, and I would be delighted to see it. No, you see, I understood something about nightclubs.
Clubbing?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
I'm excited.
But you're not dressed appropriately.
No.
Tell the winged one to pick you an outfit.
All right.
Whatever she recommends, you will wear.
Okay. Do you have a favorite color?
I want to see what you think of what she suggests for you. My newest champion should be adorned appropriately. I approved of the jewelry, you see.
Oh.
I particularly approved of the fact that it was chosen for function as well as form. We can't have you not able to do mischief sneaks as well as mischief spells, can we?
It's very true. I appreciated it very much.
We'll speak after your night clubbing experience and before you enter those tunnels. I'm not overly fond of, well, not the tunnels themselves, the little mining towns. You'll enjoy the little mining towns. Ask about the flight of the canaries. And then it's just gone. Woof.
She's ducking down and just flight of the canaries.
And very quietly,
Okay.
and very quietly on the breeze, and the fairy dragon jamboree.
That sounds awesome.
Oh no.
Oh no, they're getting on too well. This could go.
Yeah, what this means, guys, is that for Clarity and Barnabas, and I know some of you are approaching the level up point at this stage, I'm tired of this being as staggered as it is, and I think our group is as solidified as it's gonna get. We can't cram anyone more in, because I don't think I could take that many people, especially not when I'm playing myself. Thank you very much, guys. And I don't exactly relish the idea of constantly having to keep tabs on when, who has what when. So let me just take a quick look to confirm a thing. So I know the first person was who leveled, so yeah. By the end of this session, everybody, and that includes Barnabas and Clarity, are going to be level 9. I'm done with trying to keep up with exact XP numbers, and now that we're solid as a group, we're just gonna level up in chunks as the story demands, because at this point, we don't have encounters all the time, and it's getting difficult. So we're just gonna have to do it that way. I think
chunk
Go ahead.
upgrades is always easier.
I think milestones are generally just easier for everyone.
Yeah, it's not exactly the way I'd ever learn to do it. So, and then again, I mostly dealt with WAD, so that was a little bit trickier. Although it made everybody incredibly angry at me, because since I actually role played and did interesting things and generally impressed the storytellers, I tended to level up faster than just about everybody else.
That explains several of your rotes.
Well, that's the result of several of my rotes. we'll get into that someday, but now is not the time. Anyway, yes. So down Clarity goes, and failing trying to find someone else to talk to, although it is getting a little bit late in the evening. So any questions asking might need to wait until morning. So we'll skip straight to morning happens. Dawn prayers for those who are having them, and then there's the usual Bravos boast big breakfast.
The inevitable pile of eggs.
Eggs,
Does
bacon.
Clarity look any? Sorry.
Oh, good. It's...
Does Clarity look any different from?
Make an insight check. You can't just ask if she looks any particularly
I don't know. She
different.
has a big grin on her face. If it's very noticeable.
Yeah, but
Well,
she didn't say.
Clarity
so...
is not a morning person. Exactly. So she's. It's her usual grog.
Yeah.
Coffee.
At this point, Alice is just like, yeah, no, this is worst morning person ever.
Yeah.
Clary, Darwin, and Glant were getting the remind. Oh yeah, that's right. She's actually worse in the morning than me. Okay.
And Alice is just letting Hazel make Clarity coffee, A, because she knows Hazel likes to do that kind of thing, and B, she remembers the last time Clarity had some of her coffee.
Oh boy.
There is a fairly potent mug plonked in front of Clarity in pretty short order.
Thank you.
That's the problem with the sneaky, mostly traveling at night type. They never quite get used to mornings.
Nighttime's better.
Hey, every sentient species needs night owls. Where do you think night watchmen come from? So, everybody ready for the train trip? Hey, we don't have Darwin turning into a rabbit this time.
Yay!
I like trains.
Is it gonna be all glass the way the other one was?
It was only that one car at the back that was all glass.
Oh,
You didn't have to go. But
You
you
freaked out, and that's funny.
insisted on following Hazel because you were sure Hazel was gonna get in trouble.
I mean, can you blame me?
Well,
To be fair, she doesn't usually cause trouble when she's standing still marveling at things.
True.
My arch face pretty.
What?
This explains the half
Pretty.
asleep.
She's pretty. Alice, you have to get me something to wear for the clubbing.
Oh.
Okay.
Whatever you
Drinks or
want.
coffee?
Whatever you want.
And you're big on blue, right?
I'm gonna go get her another mug.
I think that's not a bad idea.
I think one too. A few at this rate.
That's okay. I had help with some shopping anyway because we promised with leather pants.
Yes, we did, didn't we?
I am very glad I have left the table to get more coffee when this is happening.
I was like a half step away from out of earshot. Yeah, no. You're not thinking about that. Gonna keep walking.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're not thinking about it in that try not to think of a pink displacer beast way, and then you realize you're
Exactly.
gonna see it anyway. So what's the point?
Oh boy. Do not drool. Do not drool.
Yes. And then you imagine what Alice would do to you if you did.
Exactly.
So
I want to live.
so Froseth, are you up for an evening of dancing, music, and experimental drinks?
I'll give it a try.
Yes! Sorry, this thrills me. This is great. This is going to be group bonding experience. It's gonna be awesome.
I mean, at least it's the first time for a lot of us.
That's the first
Does
time I
sound
think.
like it'll be an experience.
I think it's the first time for all of us. I've just heard things, I used to listen to the various stories and all the stuff that happens around Egref and tuning back in on bits about the mining consortium tunnels, and we're coming at a very good time. There's some amusing shit that happens around when everybody's doing the holiday shopping in Egref and surrounding cities. It is called the Fairy Dragon Jamboree.
What is that?
Basically, like your Lyra has her rescue fairy dragons. Well, in Equitas, we treat fairy dragon companions a hell of a lot better than some of the Baronsvere nobility seem to. And around about the holidays, everybody who has a fairy dragon companion gives them liberty for like the couple of weeks or so before the actual holiday period, so when most of the people are doing their shopping. And basically you can buy these little charm bracelets. What color you get means something depending, but it lets you understand Sylvan or Dragonborn or Draconic for the course of the day. It's an enchantment they cast on the day, and you can't keep them in reserve just because it's a really cheap enchantment, just so they can sell them cheaply. And basically, if you wear a rainbow color bracelet, you get just about everything, but different color depends on whether you get jokes, stories, songs, shopping advice. And what will happen is you can buy a little bag of treats and nibbles and things, and fairy dragons will notice that you're wearing the bracelet. If you're not wearing one, they won't approach you. And they'll come and they'll perch on your shoulder, and they'll give stories or songs or whatever, and you give them a cookie or a sweet or a shiny for their hoard or whatever, and that way the fairy dragons get entertainment and treats, and everybody else gets something to cheer up their shopping. Because can you imagine shopping in a big place like Egref with all those people trying for the same things as you? You'd get grumpy as hell. So they do that to mitigate the grumpy.
Huh.
That sounds nice.
So yeah, we're gonna be arriving pretty much at the start of that. So
I bet Flitty will be happy to see
Going
other
to be
fairy dragons.
helpful.
Pook and goes, the fairy dragons fly around and get treats if they sing and tell stories. I'm sure someone can teach you the rules and you can participate for a day if you want. I don't think there's a jamboree license, and if there is, we'll find you one. Scritch, 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 scritch.
Yes, very much so.
All the spreadsheet.
Oh, somebody looks yet. Oh, of course you never got out of Belarus. You haven't seen Egref at all yet. I think you
only saw the train station.
No, you only saw the. You didn't see the train station. You saw the cargo depot.
No, whatever that was.
Basically, there's two train stations. There's one for like people, and there's one for like stuff. You saw the one that's only for stuff, so it's not very visually impressive.
Most of what we apparently saw was the unique choice of food at the train stop, and that was about it. And the rumor you started. That was where that whole thing took off and went running into the hills.
But you'll
Yep.
see the actual train station late this afternoon, and I think knowing you, you're gonna like it. To be
I
fair,
like the
And
train.
confirm.
to be fair, oh, the trains are better. The passenger trains are better. To be fair,
Oh, really?
Barnabus has seen the passenger trains and the primary train station for Egref, so he's not going to be surprised at the descriptions I'm going to give. But it was good. It was comfy. It was definitely not anything like the cargo depot. So
Cool.
so assuming everybody is finished up their breakfast,
Mm-hmm.
onward with probably with Sapphire sort of poking out of bits of cloudy luggage and just being like right up by her face and staring.
Hee hee.
Condensed.
Scooch butterscotch in my bag.
And eventually you get to Bellerace's train station, which is nice enough. It's certainly not like the cargo stop that you guys have been to. It's more of an actual train station with seats and a little cafe. And the train that Clarity is seeing is a lot more streamlined than the one that you guys got on and sort of crammed yourself in amongst the boxes. It's there's a very Amtrak-y feel to it. You've got sets of seats, two facing two along either side, and an aisle. There's a dining car because you sort of blow through. You're still on at around about lunchtime, and I'm sure Alice is like, I'm sure Hazel will want to show you the observation deck herself.
Yep. Right in one.
And effectively deals with tickets while you guys she's basically, the only reason I'm dealing with tickets is because this is a business trip and we have vouchers. Oh, hi, Dune.
Tail.
Sorry.
Well, no, I saw yours too. No,
Yeah,
it's fine.
I saw
I
the
don't
whole
mind.
lifting action happen.
Yeah, Dune is becoming a lap cat, but she doesn't really get in my lap herself. She just sort of trills until I pick her up. So
Yeah.
That's fair. Mostly we're just getting tail that's a eerie match for the color of your hair.
that's why she's named Dune.
But yes, Hazel will drag Clarity to the last car on the train, which is entirely glass roofed and walled. With just a kind of runner at about waist height that's not glass, just to, I guess, to make the seats a bit more comfortable. But again, pure glass, so you can see just about everything. And as you're sort of settling in, the train does its little jolt and starts chugging along. And you can see as you pull away from the metropolitan area that you're going to be going more or less along the coast for most of it. So you're watching, fields and the occasional little town on one side and the entire coastline on the other side as you're chugging away west.
This is amazing.
It does start getting blurry after the first 5 minutes because you are going incredibly fast.
You gotta go fast.
It hurts my eyes after a while.
It's okay when you're looking at the coast end, though, because there's not,
There's
Much
a,
change.
there's not as much
there's a
blur.
lot of ghosts. I'm just gonna sort of situate myself in the middle of the car, look up, and just sort of give a brief exaltation to Paylor before situating myself back down.
And Alice is just kind of perched and letting Flitty have run of the car, just and Flitty just bouncing around the seats, the tops of the seats. There are a few other passengers, but they're heading to Egref as well, so they might as well get used to rampaging fairy dragons.
Well, I was thinking whether I'd let Butterscotch rumble around a bit.
That part's entirely up to you.
He's not going to hurt anyone. Let him play around a little bit.
Here, go play with your new cousin.
But Butterscotch is super happy to have a new friend.
Oh yeah, and Sapphire, but Sapphire is very hello. And Butterscotch, while very interested in the little Fluffy, is also like looks in the general direction of the other passengers and just being like, new friends, glum 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 over to the people. Sapphire just sort of sits and does the rub paw with. I didn't really want to meet you anyway. In that usual cat kind of way. Currently, you've got a Butterscotch kind of bloom, 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 bloom around people. There's first there's a woman, either human or half elf. Her hairstyle makes it a little difficult to tell. Who gives a little bit of a scritch and then just sort of go on. I'm trying to read. Across the aisle from her is a fairly grumpy, obviously human individual who is not overly impressed with having his own business interrupted, and the next thing you see is
If he
punt. Hard enough to hit the opposite window past the maybe human, maybe half elf, just and you just see boom.
I'm striding up towards him.
Ava.
Oh
He had
crap!
no right to do that. He wasn't doing any harm.
No, but
I'm not going to talk to him. I'm just going to pick Butterscotch up. Okay, but just give him a
Okay.
withering look.
Very, very bewildered looking. Although as you're walking back towards the sea, you do hear a sort of maybe that will teach you to keep your toys put away, little girl.
I don't react. I mean, I roll my eyes, but I don't respond. I just put Scotch.
I have to. Yeah, I know. At which point you get Alice kind of lean into the L. Hey, excuse me, sir. This your first time in Egref? Yes. Why? Have a wonderful time. And then quietly to Ava, just revel in the knowledge that that place is going to break his brain. So are Hazel and Clarity still in the observation deck?
I'm just sort of wandering back over.
Yeah. So you probably missed the punting, but you're seeing Ava with her very, very protective cuddle and
An occasional dark glare in that guy's direction.
and Alice is still just sort of going, like I say, man, I mean, if he doesn't know how to have fun, then he actually tries any of that bullshit with the fairy dragons.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to eat him. They're going to make like this, and I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians with a non-damage form. So just a whole horde of them just appear.
Well, actually,
I'm
I was.
guessing the local authorities won't take too kindly to.
I wonder what an Egref jail is like.
Oh, God.
Meanwhile, I've still got Spirit Guardians going, so
Yeah.
there's this little glowing batch of fairy dragons whizzing around.
You're getting dirty looks from from Mr. Grumpy Pants up ahead. He kind of Mr. No Sense of Humor over there decided that rather than just giving Butterscotch a pat and sending him on his way, decided to send him on his way via feet. Punk.
Not very smart, that. Not
He
very
should
smart
have
at
eaten
all.
breakfast.
Quite possibly, and she's not troubling herself to lower her voice, quite possibly his wife. If he has one.
Yeah, I was about to say, who would be? Never mind. I don't think I want to know the answer to that question.
Somebody who has been tasked with punishing him for having absolutely zero sense of fun.
Despite my relatively, calm voice pattern, I'm just slowly Studio Ghibliing. And the swarm is getting more active.
Hazel.
Maybe.
We don't want to. I think the wondering what an Egref gel was like is rhetorical.
Yeah.
Besides, if any one of us is going to dance across the boundary enough to wind up in one, it would probably wind up being me. I've been having that kind of luck lately.
And I'm going to dispel the swarm.
Thank you. 'Cause that was a little bright.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay. That's fine. Everybody has their own way of venting spleen, and if you want to vent spleen with spell energy and glowing radiant spectral flitties, I guess that's your thing. More fun things to think about. Where will we be taking you shopping?
There
There are places.
are places. The store that's pretty much all glow is one of them.
That was my first
Yes,
thought.
that would be Fairy Fire, but there's other places like it, and it all depends on, what we find that does actually suit. I'm not just gonna throw together something just for the shits and giggles. It's got to be something that looks good on you.
Yep.
Yeah, she
And I
found me
need-
the dapper outfit after all.
And I need to
Yeah.
find some place that does more novel types of effects, not typical bog standard stuff. Because I have ideas for presents, but I need to.
Yeah,
look.
the present shopping is the next day because we're not gonna have a lot of time before dinner
When we
and
pull
club.
in, yeah.
Basically, we're gonna be shopping on our way to, I figure, the Riddler's Stump again, assuming they have space.
Yeah, it'll probably be the sensible place to check in.
Because man, if we couldn't picture Froseth in a honeycomb, I can't imagine Barnabus in one.
Yeah, Barnabus would
Oh.
break one of those.
A honeycomb?
There's a whole bunch of buildings run, I assume, by the same people in various different spots around the city, and they're the tiniest damn rooms. There's enough space for like a bed,
Mm-hmm.
a little bitty sort of, privy of sorts, I guess, and enough space to dump your luggage, and that's basically it.
Yeah, I don't even think there's enough space to turn around. You basically have to slide in and slide out.
Well, you can
Kind
get
of.
in through a door. It's like
Well, yeah.
it's about double the width of the average door, and that's the end of it. And then maybe another door is long and not very high, because Egref, you probably noticed, was a lot of dwarves, gnomes, and halflings.
Mm-hmm.
So most things are, obviously geared so that taller people can use them, but I think it's mostly the shorter races that are happier in honeycombs. So let's just hope that Polly has enough space for us all.
It sounded like a euphemism the first time you mentioned it.
Which one of us is the bard again?
I don't know.
And she just nudges your shoulder a little bit. It's cool. It's cool. But the first place we're going, because we didn't put limits on, because you said something for you to wear, and I did promise Coterie Anne's. We're getting you fitted for a proper brassiere. Also, I have to look.
Yeah.
Also, I have to look for a negligee.
Okay.
The negligee is not for you. Don't worry about it.
I know. Okay. Yeah.
It's part of the outfit, I swear. You know, I've got her to that shade of blush, so I'm gonna go get lunch and let her recover. Same thing as the last time, guys.
That works.
Yes.
Need a hand
Very
or-
ass.
No,
Yes, please.
I'm cool. Barnabus, chicken, cheese, egg, or sausage in a bun.
Sausage, please. Sausage.
Clarity?
Same.
Cool. I'll break out the spicy tomato sauce and my burn lichen. As Hazel remembers from the last time, the spicy tomato ketchup and the extra addition of burn lichen. So
Starting to bounce just a little bit.
and comes back a few minutes later, laden down with the sandwiches and basically, really good quality hot dogs. None of that cheap tips and ears bullshit.
Nothing from CMOT.
Yeah.
Just plump. That's the spicy tomato sauce. That's the regular tomato sauce, and here is as much of the burn lichen as I'm going to spare for train station lunch.
Mhm.
I also brought this potato paper stuff, which is basically crisps, chips for you guys. It's just fuck it. Basically, the tastiest passive aggression. Because seriously, potato chips, crisps, they came about because there was a restaurant and white man bitching at black cook that his chips were, or his French fries were too thick. And he just got really fucking petty, sliced the damn things, stuck them in the fryer, and was like, "Oh, okay, that's awesome." So the tastiest passive aggression. And just sort of dumps that. I didn't know what everybody wanted drinks wise, so I just got various bits of juice. Bunk. Any further discussion wanting to happen on train? Did Clarity want to ask about the canaries? Now that she knows about the jamboree thing, because Alice might know. Alice is Equitas Bard.
So, Alice,
Mm?
I've heard. So, you've told us about the fairy dragon jamboree. Do you know anything about the flight of the canaries?
Similar concept, but not as involved. And no, I'm not going to ask how you know because I know who you've been talking to. You did say or mutter into your coffee. Basically, in the mining consortium tunnels, they've got very well-trained canaries. Not just a single one for each mining group, but usually a small flock. Because they're not just there as a warning, they're also there as entertainment. They'll sing. They're very intelligent and, as I say, very well trained, and they sing, long melodies to keep the to keep the miners amused and entertained while they work.
They don't mind being underground.
No, that's one of the things they've been trained for. But anytime the miners aren't working, major holidays, stuff like Oralmas, the actual day of Oralmas, they just let the canaries have a day of liberty same as them. You'll find that a lot of the mining consortium architecture, or what I've heard anyway, actually features little spots where the canaries can, rest, and that you can put birdseed and water and various other bits and pieces in. So it's been designed for when the canaries are flying, they can settle and, also not shit on people's heads as they go by. But that's when the song is wilder, and you'll just see canaries basically everywhere you go, just singing and being free in an urban environment. And it's apparently one of the prettiest damn things you can see underground.
Ah, that sounds marvelous.
Egref and the entire damn province is, I think it was more or less tailor-made for you.
Yeah.
I want to see everything, and we're only going to be there for a short time.
Look, when we've kicked Blue Dragon ass, you can go back, and Hazel wants to see everything too. You guys can just run around it for a week.
Considering
No,
the
maybe
height,
that's not quite enough.
Well, possibly not, but it's a good start. And the main reason I'm saying these two is that I'm not sure after kicking a Blue Dragon's ass, I'm gonna be in the mood to try and keep up with the two of you.
It's a good
considering the
point.
height means Clarity's already gotten up to, I'm actually thinking maybe I should follow along just for the sake of taking notes for future inspiration.
This
I was
time,
gonna
Clarity is
say-
being inspirational instead of the bunny.
I was going to say it sounded like you were going to chaperone us, and I was like,
Oh no
"Hmm,
no 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 no!
I
Yeah.
don't think you'd be the right person." for
Oh
that."
hell no! You're talking to the one who literally played along earlier.
That does remind me, Clarity. So you spoke to Majesty, I suppose. Is this the appropriate term?
I did, and she appeared herself, and she's gorgeous. But anyway, so she I made a pact. I said yes and everything, and she's going to find Henry for me.
Awesome.
Take some time, but I'm
And-
excited.
Pardon me, and gets up, goes out, hug. I am so happy for you. Oh my god.
Guessing she expects something in return, though. Did she say what?
Is that why I'm taking you shopping?
Well, part of
Oh,
it.
that actually wouldn't.
She asked you to let Alice take you shopping.
Apparently, she
in
thinks this is
Egref.
gonna be funny.
She told me
True.
to wear whatever the winged one told me to wear and picked out for me.
Oh, don't worry.
That
I
is
have
Good
thoughts.
philosophy.
I have thoughts. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to this.
I should probably
But-
think about looking for something for me. Green dresses.
Do you want to make this a group event? Because at least I know what kind of clothes you need to be dancing in. Because
For me.
you're dapper shit, you two, pointing
Yeah,
at
I think I'm-
Hazel, and no, that's not gonna.
It's gonna fly.
You need something you can move in, really move in.
The
Ah.
everything in one place.
If you want to go with whatever, man, because you look really dubious about my fashion choices.
Oh no, not at all. No, I'm just thinking. No, no, not at all. I
Trying to come up with how to say a thing and hasn't yet.
I'm just confused, but okay. No, I'm not dubious at all. I was trying to think of what it might be. If you've got ideas, by all means.
Oh, I remember my culture dances a lot.
That's true.
While I am not exactly an expert on Egref, I've seen enough of it to know what kinds of things in general they go for, and I also know from my own experience, how to balance movement with attractiveness.
I place my fate in your hands.
I've never done anything for Minotaur, obviously, but there was Goliath, and that can't be that much harder.
Barnabus, you're coming dancing one way or another.
I'll go with you. I don't think you guys really want to see me dance, but okay.
Why not?
I don't. I mean, back on Ravnica, my people tend to not really dance so much as have a small uncoordinated riot.
Dude, that's okay. You've never actually seen the people when they're having an argument. We don't fight each other physically.
Mm-hmm.
We don't throw punches and we don't yell at each other. Most of our communication is gesture, posture. So
Oh, it's a dance battle.
I told you about this. It's that bit where we combine it with the few verbal insults that we've got. All that stuff I was telling you about.
Yeah. I was trying to be absolutely sure that you were talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is that dance battle thing.
Yeah. Dances and basically we turn to verbal insults in that sort of situation because you're too stupid to. It's saying you're too stupid to understand gesture and nuance. But it combines to apparently look really damn impressive, while at the same time it's a bunch of people deciding which of you is actually better at shutting someone down or bigging themselves up, depending.
The greatest dance battle in history! And I'm going to just sort of flop in or out of the seat.
At which point she pulls out one of the cranberry apple candies. Here.
Directly into face. I'm gonna sit there just continuing to hum.
I don't think we're going to be dancing to that in Egref, guys.
I mean, if it helps anything, Barnabus, I probably only know ballroom type dances. So.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know exactly how they're going to dance in there, but I have a feeling it's going to be closer to mine than yours.
Probably.
And to be fair, Barnabas's is going to be closer to Egref than you are.
Maybe.
Makes me wonder how close Froseth's martial arts stuff approaches dancing.
At least for my Minotaurs back where I'm from, it's generally. I have no idea how he would try to describe a mosh pit.
No, we all knew where you were going. Alice clearly did know where you were going, and that's why she was saying this closer to. And basically, she's just pinching entire snout shut. Let Froseth speak. He does it so seldom. I cherish it when he does.
I mean, I'm sure there's martial arts things that look good. It's always the coordination, but I'm not sure I can do it to a proper rhythm.
I mean, you've hit a few things in the head, and it made a good beat.
I have a question because I have met a couple of monks like you, but I never got around to asking. The sea has a rhythm, doesn't it? The earth has a rhythm.
Yes.
So when you're channeling those things, you're probably channeling, from what I've seen when I see you fight, you follow more of a rhythm when you use those elements than when you're doing fire and air.
Okay. Yeah.
So maybe it'll help? I don't know.
We'll see when it comes to it.
Or the rhythm of the air moving, because music is moving air.
Yeah,
So I
but
don't know.
that's not rhythmic as much as people controlling it.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, remember why you represented air in that ritual, dude?
Right. Okay, fair.
So I get to take everybody shopping. I'm gonna have so much fun with this. Don't worry, Furseth, you're not gonna need something too outlandish. They were talking about light shows and things, and that coming off the scales is probably gonna be enough. Particularly with the new tats. Particularly with the new tattoos.
Yeah.
You've got those permanently now. How is that, dude?
Is it solitone?
I guess I just figured you'd probably feel a little bit, I don't know, safer.
I hadn't really thought about it. The knowing the options like always there does give that, but I'm never one for thinking really getting myself out of trouble as opposed to, well, we know how I am.
Yes, but safety doesn't always necessarily mean for you.
Fair, yeah.
Also, you know what it also means? When we get back to the Hearthheart kids, you're gonna be able to show that off to Skylar and Faraday and not worry about burning a charge.
They're gonna love it.
Imagine you doing that to the practice dummies. I can hear the cheering. Yay, talking first. Awesome. I like to know what you think. Is that so wrong?
No?
At which point, Flitty from poking out of the flea bag. I like it when you talk too. Even when you're talking like human. Bonk. Head back in the bag. I don't really want to know, do I? And after the various, a few hours of traveling along and occasionally looking out window at scenery and having various bits of conversation, you start to notice, because you've mostly been distracted, or Clarity in particular starts to notice that you seem to have graduated to a raised platform, and now you're kind of high up, and you're seeing, in the distance out in front of you, light reflecting off multicolored glass. And you're sort of passing by windows, and one of them, there's this little kid of indeterminate species going. Apparently, this kid waves at every train that goes by. You're starting to slow down at that point, and you do see, just as you pass the little kid off forward, if you're leaning as close to the window as you can get, the sparkling lights and glass and the ziggurat of the gubernatorial building that is Egref. The place is light and color and sparkly. And you're still slowing down as you're doing that, so you're getting a better look at the various bits of architecture which are built for as much color and ornamentation as stability. It looks quite stable, but there's a kind of a Art Deco-ish kind of feel to some of the glasswork, and in general it was just made to be pretty. People did function, but they very much focused on form. And then into the train station, which is, marble floors, marble pillars. There's a train at a at the platform opposite, and there's whole bunches of people in shrugging on coats because they clearly came from someplace a little bit warmer, bundling out into the main station. There's a lot of people. And once you have collected luggage, you come out into a Grand Central Station sized building. The windows all around are the stained glass panes of what Clarity, given her history sort of reading, will recognize as heroes from legends and old bardic tales. And if she manages to get a look at the floor, you're not sure, you'd need to be up to really see, but you think you're standing on what looks like a silver or platinum dragon's wing. If Clarity's studying the floor, it's like, do you want an aerial view? I've done it before.
What, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the sort of arms sort of locked under. This is just sort of around about where Heimlich maneuver would be, but obviously more hug. Just grab hold of my no, not that tight. Grab hold of my elbows and hold on, and woof, out go the wings, and whoop, you're up. And even through the people that are walking around the place, you see in the center of this big round mosaic pattern is a large platinum dragon, and all around it, you know those charms on the charm bracelet Hazel gave you? Those symbols all the way along. So they're giving homage to the gods, and in the minute you have as you're looking at that, you also get a closer look at the various oh Christ, at the various stained glass window panels, and there's one that looks like it's in progress, and you probably notice it around the point at which Alice winces and just goes, ah, fuck. Because it seems to be a red dragon and what looks very much like her. Oh, and the minute starts to wind down, so she just lands and just, oh, fuck.
What?
Look, you guys.
Points.
Look.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh, fuck.
Remy puts an arm around Alice's waist.
And it.
I wonder
begins.
if there's space for what happened next. To be fair, actually, everyone who's been here before, so well, probably not Barnabus. He didn't see enough of it. So Hazel, Darvin, Ava, Froseth, Remy, and Alice, make me perception checks.
16.
13.
21.
Yeah. We're just waiting on Hazel. Yeah, basically,
20.
everyone but Darvin has noticed that something about the dimensions of the room have changed. Froseth, and particularly Hazel, noticed that it has got slightly bigger. Just slightly, but because of the curve of the room, that's all you've needed, so it can make itself incrementally larger to fit in more if they wanted to, and still maintain the balance of the room. So Darvin's like, I'm not even entirely sure how they managed to fit that one. And everybody else is going, oh right, this is magic place.
Sidle up to Darvin.
Huh.
Hey, Darvin,
Yeah, well, oh, sorry, what?
think this place has gotten any bigger?
Can I tell after the question's asked or not?
Not really, but you
Didn't think so.
But you can take her word for it because there's just too many people, and
I guess. If you say so, I don't see it, but okay.
Oh, Oh, it's definitely gotten bigger. Considering this is the city of magic, wonder, and shenanigans, every little thing is probably just that little bit magic. Up to and including the
Yeah.
food, especially the Adventurer's Abomination.
Speaking of which, let's start moving on towards the shopping so that we can grab dinner and do the clubbing bits and pieces.
Yes.
And we're at around about break time, so we'll let poor Lindira sort out whatever's going on with her camera. And
I'm still here.
oh no, I know,
what's going
but
on.
yeah, it'll let you sort something because that's really distracting for me. And we'll see you all in 5 minutes when Clarity dresses. Well, Clarity gets dressed by the winged one, and so frankly does everybody else.
Oh boy, party time.
And we're back, and we are in Egref, stepping out of the rather pretty train station and out into Twilight Egref, which gleams with tiny suns on poles and colored lights on signs. And for clarity, this is just as like light and color everywhere. And the population is probably about 50% the shorter races, 35% of it halfling. So a lot of people running around at about waist height. And there are fairy dragons out at the moment, but they do seem to be packing it in for the evening as it's starting to get dark and a little bit chilly. You will note from the map that I have moved us to our Egref map. Oh, I didn't switch it to player view, did I? Of course I didn't. That would have been intelligent. There we go.
It happens.
Yes, Egref be big, and up to the north there's basically cliff. Lots of cliff. That's the place you guys rode through in order to get to the various spots. So yes, it's like right. All the shops are on the way to the Riddler Stump, which is our little. It's not an inn. I don't know what it is. It's a house where the lady rents out bedrooms. There are cats. Lots and lots of elderly cats.
Oh, yay!
She apparently she takes them in because, and you'll also see there's pavements and then there's actual streets where there's sort of basically a San Francisco trolley trundling past and other conveyances powered by other means. Some of them are giving off steam, and some of them are just sparkling around about the wheels. Basically, she doesn't want the elderly cats getting hit with those.
Mm.
So they come in, and one of them decided to sleep on Darvin's face, and then because he decided to remove the cat from face, it was very cross apparently, and decided to pee on everything he owned.
Oh yeah.
And gods for prestidigitation. That took a while.
I was gonna say, yeah, the smell lasted.
Oh no, the prestidigitation took care of it, but it was a lot to prestidigitate.
Oh.
Like when she said everything, everything.
Oh no.
Oh well. And they're walking along, and I'll say is okay. First, Coterie ends, because we might as well start from the inside out. And it's a quite classy, if narrow looking little shop. And you walk in, and there's a whole bunch of bespoke bra and panties combinations on hooks, but there's also a little stairwell with a sign saying, one floor up for fittings, and that's where Alice is nudging Clarity. And then there is this older halfling woman who is like, "You have brought me another one with a brazier that needs to be burned." Hello.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'm very sorry, my pretty friend, but I'm sure that much like some of you, there's going to be some coloration when I say this, but you do have a lovely bosom, but it is not being properly supported. They're being osmosed. Off,
Yep.
off with shirt. Off, come with me. Off with shirt. Off with that thing. You will not be wearing that anymore. No.
Oh Christ!
Don't worry, Clarity.
Yep.
She's very nice.
It'll be fine, don't worry.
Okay.
And just and does the measuring, and it's like, okay, we have measurements, and she shouts some numbers over to younger looking halfling. If you go over there to where Leanne is now, she will show you some of the choices that we have for that particular size, because this no. No. This is it. She does actually just look at it and then mutter an arcane phrase, and woof.
Jesus!
Well, there that went.
It was horrible. You will get one free, so that you do not have to wear that thing anymore. And I want you to promise me that you will burn the rest of them. They are not fit for dish rags.
I promise.
Very good.
To what extent is there privacy, and where is Hazel?
At this point,
I let Alice say, take your...
at this point, there's a screen between you and this woman and everything else, and she does actually just gesture, and it kind of extends to where there's that younger halfling waiting with a selection of. I was like, you try this one on.
Okay.
It's a plain white sort of cottony material, but it feels kind of sturdier than you're used to, but still quite soft, and it does feel better just on your back and everything. It's just okay, a little bit of adjustment here. And it's amazing the difference a properly fitted bra makes.
That is a lot better.
Okay, I do not know what your budget is, but that one you are wearing out, because obviously we have destroyed your we've destroyed your. I don't know what to call it. I have a feeling that I would get yelled at if I actually called it a brazier because I don't think we consider that a brazier here. Okay, so are we looking for more in the way of functional, or do you want a pretty one at it? Because there was the little short one with the mussy black hair, and she was a little bit iffy about the prettier. How are you on the prettier?
I would like something functional, but I would also like something prettier.
Okay, well you'll have a functional, and then we can get you another functional. Would you want another white one, or would you want a black one for functional, or?
Black.
And it's just basically, you know that whole thing where you can get those package bras, which are like white, black. And so basically it's the same thing as black. And for pretty, let me think, looking at your skin tone. I know. Rummages around basically it's like little wardrobes you just sort of open up and along about the back wall. And she comes out with one that's funnily enough, she's managed to find something that is about the blue of your hair with flowers along the border that match your eyes. There are matching underpants as well.
I will take the set.
With the extra functional one and this, that will be a gold total. Is this sufficient? You will find that your coin purse is actually a little bit heavier than you're used to. There's a little note inside and 10 gold more than you thought you had. The note in absolutely impeccable handwriting and ink that seems to change color depending on what angle you're looking at it from. You promised to let her dress you. I may as well pay for it.
Oh no.
Oh!
Oh no.
All right then. On the company budget then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, guys, but if you treat your archfey patrons properly, someone will reward you. Somebody should have figured that one out.
Incorporated.
Something like that. So yeah, your 1 gold for your new bits and pieces are it is covered, and you've still got 9 gold left on the shopping budget.
All right. Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Alice has gone down and picked up the promised/threatened negligee.
Remy's sticking close to Alice,
Because of course
looking at things on display.
And it's a lingerie shop. There's all manner of things on display, so there's lots of bits and pieces to look at, but mostly she's just going for, this matches your skin tone, which, given how pale you are, is a feat, I have to say. But the material's nice, and she pays for that and looks up at as Clarity comes back down the stairs. So that went well. I heard the yelling.
I mean, there was burning of my
wow,
under items.
right there. Right there.
The hint of something.
Did she do that with mine as well? I think she did.
No, she came very close. She said it. She said it should be burned. She didn't directly burn it.
Yeah.
Did she yell at you about how you have them all smooshed?
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll do
that. To be
that.
fair, she knows what she's talking about, so
Hey, but you didn't shrieking flee, which is more or less what Aaron did when we brought him here.
Yeah, you didn't like it, did you?
He didn't like anything about this place.
Yeah, it was a bit much for him, yeah.
Anyhow, next stop, I think we will show Clarity Fairy Fire. And off you go to this, and it's well lit, this shop, but not just the bright lit lettering saying Fairy Fire in Fairy Fire purple lights, but also some of the things on display inside. Some of these clothes actually glow.
Whoa.
I mean, if you've ever seen the whole cyberpunk couture thing,
Hmm.
there's very definitely that going on in this kind of place, and I'll say it's just gone.
The pinstripe suits with the pins actually glow.
Yeah, that's a little bit more along that's a little bit more along the Explorers Society. The pinstripe thing is more. It's in different areas because that's either dapper or punk, and
Fair.
this is more the things glow end.
Fair enough.
It says looks Clarity up and down and goes, okay. Stay right there for a second. Off she goes. It comes back a second later, just sort of looks at all of you. It's like, well, I know that Ree's mostly covered, except we're just gonna have to go to How now for the pants. We'll probably need boots for Clarity in that as well. So, and back into the various rows, and this comes back with something for Clarity first, and what you've got is at first glance, it looks surprisingly normal. It's not quite navy, but deep blue, sort of shift dress, a little spaghetti strap. But when she hits one of there's little spots that look like stars, the five pointed ones at the edge of the spaghetti straps. She presses one of those and it lights up in little tiny twinkles of light like she'd be wearing the night sky.
Whoa. How does it do that?
Tech and magic, that's the best we've been able to figure out. We figure a matching jacket because it's starting to get a little bit chilly. It reaches, yoink. There's a little tiny bolero jacket kind of thing, so it's not hiding any of the bits. You want to go try it on? There's changing rooms over there. Presses presses the little star so it switches off. You can switch it back on when you have it. I just don't know how it needs to recharge. So.
Is anybody else getting stuff?
Oh yeah, I'm just picking one at a time. I just saw that and it screamed you. So.
That is very you.
I will hopefully wisely leave this to the one with the good sense.
And I think I'm gonna wait for Clarity to come out in this thing before I start really going for. And yeah, she comes out and it does look fantastic on her. The bolero jacket thing stops just at the stars on the straps, so everything shows off. When she presses it, it really is just twinkle. And funnily enough, the jacket is also enchanted, so it's less stars, but a little bit more suggestion of passing cloud. Very difficult to spot, but just little deep grayer colors shifting along the sleeves and the back.
Stand.
That's perfect.
Do a little twirl in front of the mirror. And...
Hazel.exe has suffered an error and needs to be rebooted.
I'm gonna pick something for her while she's standing stunned. Are you okay with the price tag for that thing? I think it's what, 4 gold?
Oh, I should be all right.
Okay, cool. And it trundles off and she comes back with this little sort of very, very pale green short-sleeved round neck shirt with a big green bow just across the front and this sort of floofy short skirt. It's basically a Sailor Jupiter kind of thing.
Oh my god! Fucking Sailor Scout, here we go.
And she just sort of holds it up to Hazel and goes, "It has to be done." Try done.
System reboots and stomp.
And yeah, it comes out and funnily enough, it even matches her boots of haste. So
Oh, that looks good on you.
You look so pretty.
Pause. Thinking. Bounce. Bounce.
Hazel.
yeah, at this point, Alice is letting Hazel handle the bill for that on her own.
Just sort of bouncing somewhere akin to someone on a pogo stick in a direction away from the changing area.
Yep. Darvin gets something kind of interesting. It's you are also going to require leather pants for this one, my dude. And what you've got is this sleeveless but high-necked, deep shimmery purple top, but over top of that is an off-the-shoulder, somewhat baggier fishnet affair. That leather pants. And those boots you got to go with your dapper.
Ah, yes.
Eeny, meeny, miny. Let's put first out of misery. And she comes back with the basic equivalent of a very, very deep blue yoga pants. And a similar sort of top. You want something you can move in.
The man is wearing Lululemon.
I don't know what that means. I don't want to know.
No, you don't.
It's as simple as I could get here. I don't know how it reacts to lights in nightclubs. I guess we'll find out.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'll foot the bill for this because you look uncertain. It's fine. It's cool. I'm subjecting you to this. I may as well stump up for it. If you actually like it, you can buy me a drink later.
Sounds like a deal.
Looks Barnabus up and down and up and down.
Oh no.
Comes back with a sort of shimmery red button-up kind of a top, round collar, not as high as Darvin's was, but obviously something he doesn't have to slip on over horns. I think your normal pants are gonna have to do, man, because they cater to a lot here, but I think we'd need something custom tailored for you in the trousers department. Funnily enough, they're better with Dragonborn than they are with hooves.
That sounds perfectly fine to me. I mean, I tend to pick pants for being hard wearing, but that actually looks really nice.
Well, the top doesn't always have to be hard wearing, and you can just tuck it away in a bag of holding until the next fancy bit of bullshit that we need to do comes along.
Mm-hmm.
And then looks at Ava. Vanishes. Comes back with both hands sort of tucked behind her back. Left or right?
Right, I guess.
She comes out with a top that probably stops around about the midriffy kind of area.
Oh.
It's also red, but a brighter, paler kind of a red with a similar high color to Darwin's, but with deeper red roses on green ivy around about the neckline area. The skirt is black, but comes to about the knee. A little bit of a flare to let you move, and it's got a similar rose pattern all along the bottom hem. You'll
Wow.
I'll loan you my little red bolero jacket with that one, I think. Try it on.
All right.
Yeah. And she comes out. It's like we are gonna need to. Well, no, to be. We might need to find you shoes for that one. But it does look quite good on her. Although she's never worn that little fabric in her
Yeah,
life.
exactly. She's like a little bit. I mean, she likes it, but yeah, she's not exactly used to.
It's probably tugging down. It was just like.
Yeah, a little bit.
And Ree is good as long as we get the pants. Much pants.
All hail the power of leather pants.
So yeah, Darwin's is just the top, so his is 2 gold. Froseth doesn't have to worry about it. Actually, Ava doesn't have to worry about it either, because when she saw that Ava was looking uncomfortable, Alice just paid for the damn thing. Well, it would have come out of what I loaned you for shopping anyway, so ruffle.
I will pay you back for that, by the way.
I know. And Barnabas's also comes to 2, by the way.
Not a problem.
Hazel's is another 4.
I'm sorting that one out myself.
Yes, but
Still kind of bouncing.
Mm-hmm. And getting back into more street clothes, because that's something you change into later. There's a quick stop at How Now for those of you who are getting leather pants to and Darwin's getting his own, and those are going to be another 3 gold. Alice is paying for Remy's because she's basically nudging her into that one, so fuck that. She does get herself another jacket to replace the little bolero jacket that she's going to be loaning Ava, which is again deep red leather, a bit like Ava's armor, but obviously not as enchanted or indeed made of dragon. But a whole lot in the way of zippers and buckles and things along those lines. And I don't need to keep warm, but given there's me slaughtering dragon on their freaking stained glass wall of fame, I may as well look the part. At which point there is a stopping off at the Riddler Stump. Darwin, you made friends with Polly. You want to ring the doorbell?
Okay. And yeah.
Yeah, and Polly
Reason waits.
Polly opens up and is like, "Oh, hello to you. It has been a while and you have new faces. Hello." And from behind her, there's that scruffy off-white cat that Furseth accidentally hit with his tail that one time, and looks in like trots off, looking offended.
Oh no!
Remembers you.
Come in. You are fortunate. We just had someone leave this morning, so the entire house is effectively open. Although if it is going to be everybody, we may have to open up the attic. We may have to have the gentleman staying in the attic.
Okay. I mean, that would be fine with me, Preseth.
Yeah. Yep.
Is okay. There is beds up there and privacy screens if you want them.
Yep. And I'll go through and make introductions
And,
as needed.
as you're in the, I mean, there's an awful lot of floral print and pastel and old fluffy cats. There's sort of you get one, this sort of old orange thing with like half an ear missing, so sitting on the ubiquitous little end table in the front corridor, looking at Clarity. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Head ram.
Yay!
No.
So how long will you be wanting to stay with us? 2 nights, if memory serves me.
Yeah. 2 nights, yeah, 2 nights.
Yeah,
Okay.
tonight and tomorrow night, and then we're heading out to the.
Right.
We do have a promissory note from the governors, funnily enough. Goodness, you have become important folk, but then again, I have seen the new addition to the train station. Oh no.
Pat.
Yeah, I don't think we're ever escaping.
Darwin doesn't say anything. He just glances over at Alice and looks back at Polly and just goes,
Remy smiles at LSA.
just very slight little quick nods.
And at some of the storytellers clubs, they go a little bit in more detail into what happened after that. So there is talk of a romantic dramedy at one of our theaters.
Darwin's just smiling behind his hand at this point.
So I will show everyone to rooms. Is pleasure to meet all of you, incidentally. So hang on. Now there is. I know the two of you will be sharing. I'll say just yeah. Thank you. Room by the street again. And are you 3 ladies wanting to share a room, or will somebody be taking more of the privacy screen space in the attic? Because we can move in another bed, because we had to take out the little cot that we had for your little. How is your little dragonborn sister?
She is wonderful.
Oh, good. Did she manage to see puzzled while she was here? Is our toy store? I will take that as a no. No, you didn't get.
No.
You picked
No,
up your
we
bottle
didn't.
lightning and left.
I'm still watching in awe as Polly's basically a rotary interaction.
I mean, I'm fine with sharing.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Yep.
Just hold on one moment. I will have to. And she rummages around in a drawer, and she actually picks up what looks like a dollhouse bed. Is new innovation that has finally passed through the Academy's testing. Is miniaturizable furniture.
That's so smart.
Miniaturizable.
Well, you know how you have enlarge reduce spells?
Yes.
Well, it's built into the furniture. You come and you come and I show you what it means.
It makes it much easier to
And she's
rearrange things as needed.
She's just pottering up the stairs and then stops for a minute. No, wait, because there is the double bed, and I will need the space. Hang on, and rummages around and pulls out a second little bed and up the stairs. And just sort of walks into the room, overlooking the garden, which is very, very yellow. Daffodil wallpaper, matching curtains, matching bedspread. Yellow everywhere.
Aggressively yellow.
Yes, you remember the aggressively yellow room. You were in it the last time. And she kind of goes up to, basically there's a double bed and a single bed sort of smushed in a corner, so it's kind of, she walks up to the double bed after putting the two mini single beds on an end table, and reaches very far because she is halfling, a puffy white hair, elderly woman. She sort of gives twist, 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 tap, and shoop, punk. Little dollhouse double bed.
Huh.
That's amazing.
It picks it up, puts it on the end
Yeah.
table, and
Cool.
puts the two single beds down. Pulls sort of a stick with runes etched in it. Mostly metal, but there seems to be some wood built into it, and then pokes them in a specific rhythm, and punk, single bed, punk, single bed. There we go.
That
So
is
cool.
handy.
And yeah, you notice that the bedspread was white originally, but when they grew to proper size, they turned yellow to match the rest of the room.
And they adapt to room decor too.
I will move.
Darwin just looks delighted.
I will. There are two single beds in the room at the front, so I will remove that and replace with this. Does that so that the Remy and Alice's room has a double bed, and shows the three gentlemen upstairs to. I mean, it's a goodly attic space. And yeah, while there is the slope, it's built a little bit higher up so that there's not a lot of ducking that you need to do, and most of the really sloped sides are taken up by whatever she stores up there and such anyway. So the beds are not in spots where you have to duck too far, although it's a toss-up between whether it's Barnabus or Froseth that get the bed right at the crossbeam, so they have the most headspace.
Darwin just looks at two of them and goes, y'all figure that out. I'll be over here.
He's got the horns to deal with, so
Of course,
They're
Darwin is
taller. Are they both the same size, or is Barnabas a bit taller?
approximately. Basically, Barnabas's head comes a little shorter, but his horns put him about equal.
Ah.
But of course, Froseth and Darwin are probably remembering the time he stood up too fast and got his horns jammed in the ceiling support beam at Hearthhome.
yep.
So Barnabas gets the one in the middle, and it's like, since we're probably not going to want to come back here, I guess we get changed into our glad rags and.
As soon as everybody else is out of the room, Darwin just starts changing. Doesn't even bother with the screen. He's just like, it's just Froseth and Barnabas. Who cares? He has no shame. He's a bard.
Process probably pretty similar with the secluded life, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his actually he'll notice that while his the yoga pants and the top bit do actually fit loosely enough to move in. It feels a lot like his gi, but that dark blue material when it's on him does shimmer in about the same way as scales do. So apparently it's supposed to complement skin tone, and the best way it could do that with you was shiny. And meantime, obviously, Alice's got Remy to lace her into her corset thing, and she got the jacket over top, and all of y'all are in your various bits of fancynesses, and okay, wow, that went to shimmerier places than I thought it was gonna go. It's a good look.
It works.
Though, yeah.
Darwin just comes down behind for us. Seth pokes his head out and just kind of goes, "Presentation."
And Remy is wearing, Hazel, Ava, Perseth, and Darvin remember this shirt. Darvin in particular, because he did the alteration work. It's this shimmery, sort of silverish in some lights, pale goldish in other lights. Comes loose fitting, but now comes to about her waist. Yeah, sleeveless, but fairly thick strap kind of situation, and it really does bring out her skin wonderfully. There's one last thing I want to do before we go out for the ladies in particular, because I understand that this is a thing that is done, although guys can have it done too, Darwin, if you're interested. It pulls out what is essentially a makeup kit.
Oh, yes.
We'll start with Hazel and let Remy decide whether she actually wants this or not.
Oh,
Turned.
Think
I
it through, Ree. Think it through.
Okay.
And
Just the sort of help expression.
and
Ava just nudges her toward Alice.
yeah, and Polly is just like, I have to watch this. This is going to be so much fun. Please, by all means, find a chair. You all look wonderful, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Arm
Thank
girl
you.
existential
Darwin
panic.
bows
Arm girl
graciously.
existential panic.
And it's instructions. Close your eyes. Do this. And
Locked up and complying. Wickus cannot move for fear.
does things with the hair as well, so it keeps the bow. But what you end up with is, instead of just being basically pulled back with the bow, she's done 2 braids and tied them up in the back, so that it's weighting the thing down and giving it a bit more shape than floof. And what she's managed to do is bring out the green in Hazel's eyes, and just yeah, basically she looks very much like her, but has accentuated the eyes and the lips and the cheekbones a little bit, and then just Polly is holding up this mirror like,
Just this very, very confused and panic sort of meeping noise.
who's next?
I'll go.
And for clarity, she gets to go a little bit more flamboyant, just because she's got a very different canvas to work with. So what she's managed to do is bring out the amber a bit more of the eyes, make it a bit brighter, and do something just to accentuate the shape a bit more. She's actually managed to use a very deep purple kind of lipstick, which is about the only way you can really bring out her shade of skin and go with the hair. So what you wind up with is, again, her lips are more defined, her eyes just look bigger, and she's done something different with the braid, so that instead of just, hanging down the side, she's actually wound it in a kind of interesting coronal kind of effect around the horns, which also accentuates the jewelry that she's got there. And then Polly just holds up the mirror.
I like it. I'm afraid to touch my face.
It's fine. That stuff was made to last. And in the back of her head, you hear that Clarity hears. Next. And Ava. She goes more subtle with Ava. It doesn't look really like she's wearing any at all, but still her eyes shine a little more, and her cheekbones are a little bit more defined, and she does take down the bun and gives the hair a bit of a brush, and mostly though she just leaves it long so that it actually frames Ava's face a little bit more. Although she does look in her bag o' tricks. Yeah, I did pull out something and it wouldn't stick with my hair. Let's see what it does with yours. She's got, that hair mascara you can get?
Mm-hmm.
So she winds up streaking one bit the same bright red as her top, and then kind of tucking it behind her ear to give the hair a bit more shape there. So there's this one bright red braided streak.
Must be quite striking against the
Yeah,
white.
against the white, but she did that quite deliberately. And then you've got Polly just going, Nuke.
That looks amazing.
Remy, do you mind if I jump in next?
Go ahead.
Awesome. Well, save the best for last.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't even done mine yet, so
So save the best for last.
and it just starts with Darvin. Darvin, she goes a little Bowie. So not massive Ziggy Stardust kind of, but tamer kind of Bowie. So you still do get the accentuation.
Angles.
Oh, yeah, a little bit Jareth.
Yes, angles. Yeah.
Yeah. Angles a little bit of color. She does wing purple eyeliner. And does the lips in a subtle purple shade to accentuate those as well. And then she does just paint little purple music notes up one cheekbone. And Polly just holds up the mirror. Reed?
Hops up, steps over.
Breed steps up slowly.
Thinks about it for a little bit. And then it gets to work. She actually takes out scissors, trims the hair to give it a bit more shape. So it does actually look more like those bits of art that you keep reblogging that isn't really Remy, but looks pretty much exactly like Remy. She follows a similar thing to Ava's, where it doesn't look much like she's wearing any, but there's a certain sparkle to the eyelids that make her her eyes are a fairly pale gray, but this brings out more. Now they look kind of, depending on the light, it's a grayish green or grayish blue, and doesn't have to do much to bring out the cheekbones or the lips, but basically what you get with that fair skin and that little bit of work is there's almost an Audrey Hepburn kind of thing going on there. She's all eyes and lips and cheekbones. And Polly just shows the mirror. That is actually what you look like. Do you not comprehend? You don't.
Yes.
This
is usually what I see in the mirror.
Yeah, then again, you look in the mirror for like 5 seconds. If that.
Yes, but...
And Alice kind of gets to work on her own, and she can kind of split the difference between the doesn't really look like she's wearing anything and a bit more flamboyant, and she's having some issues with the hair because, of course, it's still uneven in various spots, and she's just frustrated as all hell by the end of it, just going, I'm not going to be able to do anything with the hair. But again, she's very much brought out the blue of the eyes and the lips, and a bit more in the way of gold up to the eyebrow line, but subtle enough so that it's not. Ta-da!
You look amazing.
I need to fix the hair.
It'll come back, don't worry.
Yeah, but there's gonna have to be regular trims to get it evened up. There is one thing I can do, kind of. And she pulls out the braid, twists as best she can into a bun, secures it moderately with pins, and then sets the comb just shunk. Kind of. The red matches with everything, and it's probably gonna stay. I just want it to be back at its old length. We were gonna find a maybe there's someone at Druidcraft who can do that. We should have talked to your sister, Hazel.
I'm gonna ask about druids for the hair when you.
Yeah,
Oh,
but we don't have time tonight. So
Well, no, but maybe before. Well, after we come back, how about that?
we'll see what happens, because I'm used to do. Remember when I first went out with you guys, I had my hair that long. This burn didn't happen until Coraville. I can fight just fine with hair that long.
Well, I know, but I just if
We have to be shopping tomorrow, anyway.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Dinner.
Oh.
Yeah. Barnabus didn't spend a lot of time in Egref's fancier shopping and eatery districts. It's not really his thing. But what Harley Surf and Turf is, after your little ride on the, because for clarity, this is the first time on the Egref. On the Egref trams, which are basically San Francisco trolleys, which is two copper a ride, and you just trundle through into the eatery district, which is just lovely cooking smells that change as you pass each restaurant, just because food places everywhere. Harley Surf and Turf is an upmarket kind of a restaurant. Dim lighting, bottled music in the various corners, and a gentleman who serves as maitre d', older halfling gentleman made of freckles. Ah, table for 8. Welcome back. You all look incredibly spiffy. We have had 2 people who have managed the Adventurer's Abomination out of
Really?
50?
Oh, boy.
One was a Goliath, and the other one was a half orc.
Ah.
I'm not sure my appetite can handle any more detail.
I just realized who would probably who among the gaggle back home would love this.
Doesn't Jenna always win your pie eating contest?
That's 1. Yes.
Lenark?
2. And 3, Keth.
I think he probably needs a few more years on him before he can manage the full Adventurer's Abomination. The kid's 15.
Yeah, that's true.
And
he puts away a lot.
For clarity and Barnabus, you get menus. I mean, Barnabus has probably seen a menu. They probably have places with actual menus in Ravnica. For clarity, an actual menu instead of something chalked on a wall. This is new. There's wine list, a short menu that's just listed cocktails, and soft drinks, which involves ginger ale, ginger beer, root beer, cola, fizzy lemonade, orange soda, grape soda. And on the next page is appetizers, which is something called an onion flower, stuffed mushrooms, several different kinds of salad. Next page over is cuts of meat. Page after that, seafood, and at the bottom, surf and turf platters, which is steak cut of choice plus seafood bit of your choice, which includes lobster tails, mussels, tiger prawns.
Mm.
I've never seen a book for food before. I mean, it's not instructional. I mean, I've seen a cookbook. But
It lists all that they've got.
It lists all
and you
the
pick-
things you can order.
And you pick one of them.
Well,
Basically, it's the blackboard in book form.
but there are so many choices you can't make. But how do you choose?
well, Hazel, if I remember, really enjoyed the steak and lobster tail combination. I think I'm gonna have the steak again, but with the mussels this time, because interesting the whole thing they're talking about the cream and white wine sauce. Which
I'm thinking the steak and the prawns myself.
yeah, you liked the prawns if memory serves me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might do that. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm tossing up between the prawns or the lobster tail, just because like I've had the prawns, so maybe something different. But I don't know.
Well, I thought you ordered the lobster tail the last time.
I did?
I ordered the tiger prawns. You ordered the lobster tail, but you had one of my
That's right.
prawns.
You just had
Right.
to follow the leader, as it were.
Yes.
And
Okay.
the-
So yeah, I'll do the
case.
prawns this time. Thank you.
Not a problem.
I will also go steak and prawns. Out of character, Lindira is allergic to shellfish, so Clarity's going to have all the shellfish.
Oh, good God! That
And it's Megan again. It's like, hello to you. For those of you who do not know, my name is Megan, and I will be your server this evening. May I offer you an appetizer or a drink to start with, or are you ready to just order everything? There's a
I
little
wanted onion flour.
little younger than the maitre d' halfling, very tidily dressed, fancy waitress dress, auburn hair and a billow bun. Okay, you will have the onion flour. I think I'm going to go for the this mixed salad thing. This looks interesting. You don't get this much vegetable in a bowl where I come from. This seems decadent to me, and I'll go with the steak and mussels. Steak is cooked rare. Thank you. That's new for that. That's Barnabus knows this. This is new for clarity. What do you mean steak cooked rare?
not everything is uniformly
Oh,
grade.
can I tell you the grades of meat cooking so that I can ask how you would like your steak cooked? This is more common and liked among the for example Dragonborn is black and red, which is seared on the outside and almost entirely still red on the inside. There is rare, which is a little bit more cooked, so it's mostly red and pink on the inside. Then there is medium rare, which is pink but not really red on the inside. Then there is medium, which is lighter pink, if you see what I mean. And it's further cooked along, so it's black and red, rare, medium, medium well, and well done. Well done is cooked all the way through. We do not tend to recommend that because we have a very good grade of beef. Begging your pardon, sir. Turning around to Barnabas. And
I'm not that kind of cow. No, thank
oh, I do not know. I understand that you were here briefly, and it might be that in whatever world you come from, the bovine are all two-legged, and yet they are still hunted because sometimes people are, if you pardon me, assholes.
Look, I appreciate it, but no, no worries whatsoever. And trust me, I will be enjoying some steak tonight.
And how would you like it cooked? And will you be having that with any of the surf and turf platters?
I will go with the surf and turf platter. I'll have the steak black and was it black and red?
Yes. And
Black and red,
and
and
which-
I will the lobster, please.
And how would you like your steak cooked, ma'am? Looking at Clarity.
Medium rare with the prawns.
Looks at Darwin. You're muted again.
Sorry. I think I'll have a mixed salad as well. And a steak rare with the prawns.
Ava.
Thank you very much.
I have a mixed salad too. And, what's just under well done?
Medium well.
Medium well.
That you ordered that the last time. She's going, is it medium well again for you?
Yes, please. With the prawns.
Looks at Froseth.
I'll get the steak and the lobster tail, black and red. For the steak, please.
Looks at Remy.
Steak and lobster tails and medium rare.
Scratch. And will you be going for the same bottles of wine? And would you like soft drinks with your appetizers?
Contemplating.
Clarity has no idea what a soft drink is.
It's sweet flavored effervescent drinks. But honestly, I'm looking at this because we're going to be having interesting mixed drinks when we're going to the club, and I'm looking at this cocktail menu, and I'm looking at a. I'm sorry, I do have to try whatever the hell is in a Belarus Sunrise.
Very good point.
I'll have a cola with my salad.
Yeah, I'll have a cola as well.
I am
Water and
a
orange soda.
trendsetter. It's just I ordered the prawns last time and everybody's ordering the prawns, and I ordered the cola last time and everybody's ordering the cola. It's great.
You have good taste.
Mm-hmm.
Well, witness us.
See what will happen if Clarity has.
I
Orange
will
soda.
have whatever a ginger ale is.
Scritchy. And for the sake of argument, get the things you ordered, and the smell in this place, incidentally, is rich red wine, well cooked. You know that meat on the grill meat, garlic butter.
You're making me hungry. I'm gonna start free dripping over here.
Yeah, the mixed salads are basically the works. So you get slices of potato and boiled egg and all manner of veggies. I'm not sure what half of these are. Tasty, mind munch. Look, this is luxury for me. It's not like you got a lot of. Back me up on this, Froseth.
Yeah.
Sure, there's some parsnip and some turnip in there.
They're not that bad. It's not quite like that. Those are not vegetables you can eat raw. But it's there's carrot and there's spring onion and a little bits of broccoli.
You're the full garden salad setup.
Oh yeah, basically. You do think there's little bits of ham in there, and anyone who has it can confirm. It's like, yeah, there's bits of cooked ham in here.
This gives me ideas. This gives me many ideas.
I don't want to know. Not yet, anyway.
No, but we can leave those for next time. We have an assortment of veggies available.
Okay.
Just this grin.
Yeah, okay, yeah, but we have places to be tonight, so. And moving on from that to the this very good steak, very good seafood, with the jacket potato and your vegetable medley thing. Dessert happens. Is Barnabus going to attempt the adventurer's abomination?
Absolutely.
It arrives.
Somewhere in the
It is.
Darwin just looks at Barnabus at that moment and goes, "Godspeed, sir."
It's a good thing Hazel hasn't done any healing yet today.
This would more be a lesser restoration thing.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be fine.
It's a pretty big chunk of ice cream on top of the meal that you've already eaten. It is in some very interesting colors, and there's rainbow-colored sprinkles and these triangular-shaped wafer biscuits and all manner of sauces and.
It's the Sunday that went nuclear.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
So,
do not remember that with fondness. Oh well.
I am not going to tell you the target for this, but I would like you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
Oof.
Nice.
You're gonna need to walk it off before you have to do the boogieing.
Oh, wow.
You're gonna have to walk slow to. Because, I'm sorry, your TN for that was 20.
That was close.
This gurgling noise is happening.
But he does it, and Megan turns up at the table with this. It's actually a little copper medallion. It just has runes that Hazel recognizes in Halfling as reading. I ate the whole thing.
You scooch over to Barnabus, take one of his hands, and hold it up as close as I can get to over his head. Wrestling stuff, or like a wrestler, just one about style.
You okay, Barnabus?
That was both delicious and horrifying.
Yeah, because sometimes the mix was great and sometimes the mix was awful, which is part of why you're kind of.
That sort of flavor should never. How did they make it taste like that? It's ice cream.
It was. By the way, it was bubble gum.
Ah.
That's the one
So
you've forgotten.
That was the third one. So it was the cake batter, the
It
bubble
was,
gum,
it was,
and the cotton
it,
candy.
it was cotton candy. It was bubble gum, and it was birthday cake.
Yeah.
Dear God.
But yeah, that means nobody has to worry about the cost of their meals for the evening, because when Harley Surf and Turf does a thing, they take it seriously. Alice does still leave a gold on the table as a tip.
Yeah, I'll leave one of my own.
Barnabas. So will Barnabas. Y'all realize I'm not doing that again, right?
Yeah.
That's funny.
The fact
That's fair.
Do it again.
But hey,
and does he give full name when asked? Because Megan will ask.
He will.
And there is a plaque, and third down on the list is Barnabas Stumplefink.
Phases into existence. Oh my God.
is the plaque just a name? The plaque's just a name, right?
Yeah. Well,
That's gonna be great because no one's gonna have.
There's a bit on the top that it reads again in those runes. I ate the whole thing. It's only Hazel that actually knows what that means, but in common, it's Adventurer's Abomination written underneath.
Right. Well, more like people are gonna look at the name and have no idea what I was, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Behold to all the world, he who ate the whole thing.
Is that what that says?
Yes.
Cool.
Halfling writing sometimes. Look at that. Whole thing. It almost looks like it says it.
Someday I will have to come back and actually eat the whole thing of my own freaking creation, but today is not that day. Tomorrow's not looking too good either.
And this they're doing while they're walking in the general direction of Entertainment District and Academy. There's one road that you're probably going to have to go down later nearest the Academy that's still making some alarming noises, and there's glitter and sparkles and the occasional bang and some weird multicolored smoke, and there's a sign in an arch over what is effectively an alley slash market, and it just reads, "Is that lane?" Barnabus recognizes this. He came out of that road. We're not going down there yet. On your way to you're in what's clearly an academy district. A lot of the places around here clearly cater to students, and you can see about where there's a building. It's large. It's tall. There's a big lit sign in front of the door that says Basil Cell, but as you're approaching it, you're also passing what looks like an old-time soda shop for us, with the double PE, and sitting at a sort of counter along the windows, each of them drinking some interesting layered rainbow-colored malted milkshakes, floats, sodas, things like that. A bunch of teenage girls, and one of them is Molly Cathay, who appears and then just waves at you from bang on the window and just...
She's getting the bounce flail back.
And
Hazel getting it.
Is Molly's that one who created the little...
Yeah, the ones you guys sent to the academy on the... comes out. Hi!
Hi!
We weren't expecting you back here so soon.
How are you settling in?
Pretty well. Those are my friends. And it's a bunch of teenage girls. You've got a tiefling, an elf, 2 halflings, and a human. Just they think my hair is awesome. The off brown has actually been bleached to a paler blonde sort of color to make which are currently in their very bright green, hopeful configuration. They think my hair is awesome.
So out of the list of places, how many have you discovered so far?
A few, but you guys are obviously heading out, and dorms have curfew, so I don't have too long. But I'm probably going to be back here tomorrow around about lunchtime, and I'd love to hear how you're doing.
Oh, we'd like to hear how you're doing.
Yep, exactly.
Yes, we really want to know how often you have done a science so far.
Like always?
I missed you.
And Potter's back in, and you can see her gesturing at you guys and probably telling the various bits. You can almost, Froseth can actually lip read those are the ones I was telling you about.
She looks happy. I'm so glad.
Well, it was definitely the right place for her.
Mm-hmm.
And onward into the it's probably the plainest looking on the outside building in Egref. It's solid walls, fairly standard kind of. Doesn't look like it has any windows, but there's the big double doors and the big sign up in the front, all lit up and changes color every few seconds. Just reads Basil Cell. There's a
Reading anticipation.
There is a half orc in plain black trousers, plain black shirt, plain black jacket at the door. You coming in?
Aye.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, are any of you armed?
Would we have a weapon on us?
Not
Probably not.
anymore.
No, I'd imagine that most of you were sensible enough to leave your weapons back at the place, because you haven't been attacked here, and Remy doesn't have to mention the fact that she can summon a weapon at will. No one is immediately armed, looking at
Oh.
Remy like, just shut up. Okay, you're going to want to talk to the people at the admissions desk. Do not make any trouble, or we are going to have to send the brute squad.
Understood.
I am part of the brute squad. I am smallest of the brute squad.
Mm.
Okay, duly noted.
Pushes the door open, and
All right then.
inside it kind of, where you're standing now, it kind of looks like an old-timey cinema lobby, complete with the sort of ticket window, and sitting as is, probably on a whole bunch of cushions, is Gnome. You're not entirely sure what color his hair is supposed to be because there are too many rainbow streaks in it. It's probably about Hazel's age. He's clearly a university student. Hello.
Oh,
Allow me to explain what our venues are today. We have 3 levels, and each of them has a different music type. It is 4 silvers per in each floor, or you can have an all-access pass for 1 gold, which is all 3 floors. The bottom floor is experimental takes on. Looks at you all.
Still vibrating.
And obviously not having the slightest idea where most of you are from. Primitive folk music from the West.
Whoa.
The second floor is experimental takes on primitive folk music from the deserts. From Alizé. And the top floor is... And at which point he notices some of the looks at Alizé with this kind of meep expression. looks at first with more meep. A tribute to the musics of the North.
Oh, fuck. It clicked.
So, any particular floor? Would you like the all-access pass?
I just
Assuming you want to see all of it, now I say.
Yeah, well, I'm particularly interested in the experimentation about the primitive folk music of the desert. I'm good at dancing to that.
Darwin just pulls out a gold and just
Yeah, and Alizé does the same.
Yeah.
I'm going to blur up to. I'm gonna blur over, not
gold.
full on haste yet, but maybe later. I'm gonna blur over, plunk down 2 gold, point to myself into clarity. All access, please.
Okay.
I'll put a gold too.
Yeah. And assuming everybody pays up, and I mean, we're getting to about that time, but
Thanks, Hazel.
I guess this is going to take a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, because we cannot cover 3 floors of club weirdness in like 5 minutes, so we're not even going to try. So we'll try to keep it short so we can get to actual adventuring, but at the very least, this gives me some interesting things to do about level ups and new patrons and
Mm.
certain things. So we'll see you in a couple of weeks, and that'll give me time to think, and it'll give Clarity time to think about exactly where she wants to take her first level of Warlock.
Cool.
Because her level up is going to have to be Warlock level 1. See you in 2 weeks, guys.